Hello, my name is R.J. Hunt. I was recently asked by my grandfather to document a reunion of the Jordan family. I had a great time doing it, and enjoyed hearing some of the history and stories of my extended family. My Uncle Mark explained exactly why he organized this all.
The story really starts back many years ago whenever I was reading the story that grandfather wrote called Sketches of Mother and Father, I believe was the title of it. He talked about just a little bit about his father, who was David Sewell Jordan, and his origins in Maine. Actually, I think he was around 4 years old, very small child, when his father and mother moved from Maine to what's now called Birmingham. It wasn't really called Birmingham at the time. And so he wrote a little bit about that and talked about his father, which then got me interested in our roots, our family roots, and where we came from, and all. I didn't really know a lot about it, so I started getting on the internet. One of the first things I did is I just did a search on David Sewell Jordan, and in the process of that search, ran across a guy called Norman Jordan from Maine, and through conversations with him and emails and such, we realized that this was the Jordan strain that our family came from, and also realized that they had a large organization of Jordans that and had a reunion. They have a reunion every 3 years, and so that year we decided that Donna and I, my wife and I, and my brother Jimmy and his wife Carolyn would go to Maine for their reunion, and we did. We met a lot of Jordans, had a good time. It really got me interested in the whole Jordan family. Then we'd come back, and a few years later, and I realized that the Jordans here in Alabama, or at least the descendants of E.W. Jordan and Julia, his wife, we had not gotten the group together in a very long time, and we were losing touch. And it's just a kind of a happenstance. As I'm driving out to make some deliveries, I look and I see this guy that looks like Santa Claus. And then I realized that it was my cousin Dale, and that Dale and Dwayne, his brother, had started working at the company right next door to mine. And so we talked a couple of times, and I got to thinking, I was talking to them about, we need to have a family reunion. We need to get everybody together. And they thought it was a good idea, so I kind of talked it up with the rest of my brothers and sisters, and there we decided to go ahead and have a reunion of the descendants of Eugene and Julia Jordan, and here we are. We had it this October. I think it was fabulous. We had a good time. We all brought different memorabilia. As a result, one of the things of the reunion, one of the things that we did was we formed a committee of all of the representative of all the branches of the family, and we decided, they decided, and everybody was in agreement that we would make this an annual event, and that it's to be held on the third Saturday in October each year. That we thought that turned out to be a really good time, and so we decided that, and we don't have a set venue to have it at, but they'll work that out, and everybody seems to be excited about it.
I also sat a couple people down and had them tell some stories. Here are a few of the highlights.
Well, I know all you remember up at Mama's that they had that one light bulb in the middle of the room, that one little hanging from the ceiling on about a
150 watt or something like that. Big old bulb.
Yeah, but you know that was it.
Yeah, they're illegal now, right? All those bulbs are illegal.
Jimmy and I were up there hunting, and Red was up in the house. He hunting, and I said that night, I said, well, let's go up there and visit with him. And I saw something out of the corner of my eye. I said, that looked like that might have been a rat. And then a minute, here comes the is that the lie alarm? Okay. So I've been caught now. And then the rats got so brave, they just walked right out. I'm not kidding you. The rat just walked right out of the room and raised up on his little feet like that. And I told Jimmy, he said, we gone. I said, no, we out of here. I said, them rats ain't scared of me, but I sure am scared of them. So I don't know.
I was up there one time, there was a snake in there. We were eating dinner. Granddad was over here and I was here at the end of the table. And she gets up, just jumped up out of her seat. We didn't know what was going on. All of a sudden we heard boom, 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 boom. And Granddad said, what are you doing in there? She said, I'm killing this snake. She had a hoe in the living room, chopping this snake up with a hoe in the living room. I'm like, she come to her feet like that, like she'd saw a ghost. And then a few minutes later, like bam, bam, bam. And she chopped that snake up to about 10 pieces. And we were just sitting there eating, and it was just so funny that she's in the living room chopping a snake up, and we're in there eating. Granddad's like, what are you doing? I'm killing this snake.
You know.
Let me tell you something. Mr. Jordan, he kept the lot clean. The cows walk around the lot. If they poop there, he take a wheelbarrow about once a week, go out there and put paper on the wheelbarrow, let it shove it on and take it out and peel out there and then wash it and dump it. And where the road was, he dumped it all the way down. Next thing he would make another road. One time, Mama Jordan's sister come to visit. She's standing in the kitchen door looking around after a pile of paper out there on the football. She said, Walter, he said, what? She said, tell me how you trained that cow to poop on that paper.
After I was spending my summer, my opportunity to spend a week with him.
Yeah.
Spend a week. And I was up there, and everybody knows that. You go to the outhouse, and
Yeah,
it's summertime, and it's kind of rank. Well, Granddaddy got the idea that what he was going to do is he's going to tore off some of that Sears Roebuck catalog and was going to burn it and run the flies out or something. Well, I'm at the house and I look over there and the outhouse is just in flames. And I turned to Mama, I said, the outhouse is on fire. And so, Lord have mercy, then everybody from the neighborhood was coming. They're coming in, they're doing a bucket brigade. Of course, that outhouse was, you're going to save, and that thing was made out of fat lighter anyway. And that thing went up like a candle, and so, and then they all got together and they built a new outhouse. But I thought that was the strangest thing. I'm just looking out there and the outhouse is on fire. That one was a two-seater.
Right.
Yeah.
That was
Which
kind of,
was kind of odd to me because you got to know somebody really well.
Really tight.
You got to be really friends with somebody.
Or really have to go.
no doubt.
Also, there was a rusty lizard that lived down there, and that thing, it was about that long. I hated it. I was scared of that thing. I'd go and,
The corn crib.
I hated that.
Oh, we stayed away from the corn crib.
I know it. I didn't like him.
I used
He'd
to
do
hate
that to me. You gotta go. You gotta
gotta go.
You gotta go, and there that rascal, he
crawl out on that door and
I
look
would-
at you.
I would worry more if he wasn't there. I would
Where
think,
is
I
he
would
if I
be
can't
thinking,
see
if
him?
Yeah,
I can't see him,
it.
where is he?
Right.
So boy driving across Arizona out there, and he'd been driving about 2 hours, and it seemed to find several old service station, and he pulled in there to get something to drink and gas up. That means it wasn't up but 50 miles around there. Had a little house out down there. He had that boy running the station, what in the world y'all do for time around here? I said, oh, we have something going on. I said, what do you do? Well, the other day, sir, I want a microphone from here down to the house.
Oh,
I said, the lady come in there, wanted to know where the restroom was. I showed her out there. She went down and said, about a minute, she got there, I picked up the line, I said, lady, would you move over, I have paint on this.
That's crazy.
you're just full of jokes. You haven't changed a bit.
Well, I tell you what, now I got that on this because Daddy was the biggest trickster.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he loved to pull the tricks on.
My daddy did too.
Yeah. I know at Halloween, our dad would hide in the bushes with a jacket closed up over his head like he didn't have a head.
Well,
He loved to run
It didn't
out.
have to be Halloween, he just do that. We were working on Jimmy's scooter one time, and Daddy trying to figure out what's wrong with it, and he says, he comes up to me, because, you know, I don't know any better. He says, hold on to this wire, I want to see if it's getting fired. And he kicked that thing, and I turned about 3 flips, and he said, yeah, it's getting fired. The other thing he did to me, he said, this lady down the street, Miss Cannon, she had a car, and I think it had some kind of a
At the
leak.
bottom of the hill.
Yeah, it had a leak in there, was where it was leaking into in with the fuel and stuff. Anyway, well, the head was leaking anyway. He undoes the spark plug, and he says, I want you to look close there and see if you see any water leaking out of it when I turn it over. And of course, when he turned it over, it come out like a cannon. Boom, hit me right in the face. He said, yeah, it's leaking.